I can remember the day as if it was yesterday, although it was several years ago. I got a notice that said, in a short, Ramon, you're fired. Actually, it was just not continuing my contract. I worked at the United Nations for many, many years. Fear gripped me. Fear gripped me. What do? I had 2 children to take care of, wife to take care of. She was a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling our kids, sole breadwinner. Man, now thankfully, of course, I had my side hustle going on. So that's when that time kind of launched me into being who I am today. But the point, fear gripped me. And I think that's what this whole conference is about today. Congratulations to Shay Brown and the whole team. That's what this conference is about, the Comeback Champion Summit. And what I want to talk to you about today is the importance and how and the aspect that's been going through my mind the last several months, the last several weeks, that we have to think bigger. We have to think different. So how can we do that? What does that mean? How do we make that happen? And that's what I want to touch on a bit today. So going back to the story, but I should say, hi, I'm Ramon Ray, founder of smarthustle.com. So thanks for being here. That's who I am. So I go back to that day and I think, wow, it was a time of fear. It was a time of where I felt nervous, where I felt down, where I felt, what do I do? But as we're learning today, I had to make a comeback. And of course, the United Nations was not the only fearful experience that I had to make a comeback from. I can remember having a child when I was very young. Some of you know what that's like. I love my son today, who's an adult, a grown man. But man, back then, it was scary having this young life that you have to nurture and take care of. The responsibility is yours. What do you do? There's a time in my life where I suffered with some deep, deep bouts of depression. So why do I share that? Because the things you're going through today, the things we're going through today is not our first rodeo. It's not the first time we've been down, not the first time we've been feeling low, not the first time we've had fear, not the first time, in fact, we've had to make a comeback. It's not the first, and it won't be the last. So we've all had moments in our life. Think about that. Close your eyes a minute. Think about what are the moments in your life you've had where you've been gripped with fear, you've been gripped with circumstances that were beyond your control, and you've had to make a comeback. I'm sure you can think of those times. So my point being, as I say that, yes, indeed, the times we're going through now are tough. It's a sucky moment in time. But remember, this is not the first time that you've had to face challenges. Indeed, my heart massively goes out to the many businesses that have had to close. Sad. I've had my own challenges in business. Some businesses have had to close. All businesses have had to pivot and rethink how we're doing it. And I think we're going to say this for a long time. This is the new normal. We are never going back the way things were. Whether you think the disease we're going through is real or a hoax or not or whatever, it's a fact. We're not going back. That's a fact. Many people have been sick. Many people have died. Many people have experienced this death by family or friends. I've gone through that. These times are full of a lot of worry. So it goes back to the first point I said, we have fear. But the question I ask you, the challenge I bring to you today is, what do we do with the fear? My friend Fergus Connolly, who's a performance coach, he has researched special forces, Navy SEALs, and other high-performing warriors in the military. He's researched high-performing athletes. And what he says a lot is that it's not that these high-performing people don't have fear, because they do. But the question we all have to ask ourselves, what do I do with the fear that I have? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. What do we do with the fear? And so that's the question I have before you today. What are you going to do with your fear? What am I going to do with my fear? High-performing athletes, people who are warriors in the military, special forces, and etc., they're human just like we are. They're human just like we are. They stub their toe, they hurt just like we do. But they've made a decision. I will have my fear, but I'm going to put it in a different part, and I'm going to go forward. I'm going to make best with what I have. I'm going to tell myself I'm going to have a mindset of positivity, a mindset of can do, a mindset that we must go forward, go on. I can't stay and just put my arms in hug myself and cry. Now, about that. You can do that a little bit. You can do that for 5 minutes. You can do that for a day or whatever time you need. But you have to snap out of it. You have to move on and do it. So this is an important part of this journey of how do we come back? It's about taking the fear that we have, taking that fear, acknowledging it, but then moving forward. This is key. At least I found in my life. I have had fear. I do have some fears and concerns, and I'm sure I'm going to have it. This is the human experience. This is the human experience. But of course, my faith and trust in God and having a mindset determining to go forward is important. And so this leaves us to the choice that we have. The choice that we have. Do we decide, do we want to stay where we are? Or do you decide that we're going to go on and live and go forth? What's the choice? What are we going to do? So here's a few things that we can do, I think, as we make the decision, as we make the steps, as we say that I'm going to move forward, I'm going to move on. I remember March 13th, I remember very clearly, South by Southwest. I was headed to South by Southwest, this big event in Austin, Texas. And is it going to cancel? Is it not? Hoping it would go on. They canceled. Oh, the concerns and bringing a lot of people together. Man, it like hit me, boom, because that started a domino effect in my industry of event after event after event being canceled. And I speak around the world to audiences all over. Single income family. I'm the breadwinner. I'm seeing 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, tens of thousands of dollars dry up as a clip. What to do? So here's what I did. Here's exactly what I did. One, what you can do as we face fears and concerns and anxiousness, and as we seek to come back, as Shay Brown and the other speakers are trying to tell us today. One, focus on your family before you focus on your business. Put your business aside if you can, to some degree, metaphorically, but you got to focus on your family. And even before you focus on the family, my encouragement to you is you have to focus on you as an individual. How am I doing? How are things going on in my world? This is important because if you're not doing well, if you're not doing good, you can't take care of other people. Can't do it. So are you okay? Are you mentally okay? Are you emotionally okay? Are you physically okay? Have you talked to a pastor in your life, a mature friend in your life? Are you getting support from a group of people in your life? Ask yourself that question. So focus on yourself, focus on your family. Wife, are you okay? Kids, are you okay? Husband, are you okay? Mom, are you good? Dad, are you good? Auntie, are you good? Because your family is your support mechanism. Your family is where you need to go back and just laugh or just cry. That's what family's for. So ask them, are they okay? Then check in on your community. I'm sure you got some girlfriends, some guy friends you hang out with. Your church, whoever it may be important in your life. Check in on them. Not only how can they help you, but also how can you help them? How can you serve their needs? So it goes back and forth. Then, as we get to business and things like that, focus on your team. Check in and find out, how is your team doing? How can you serve them? What can you do to make their lives better? Focus on your team. This is important. Focus on your team. So this is how you begin the journey of coming back. You start and check in with yourself. You start and check in with your family. You start and check in with your community. You start and check in then with your team. And that's how you begin to rise and bring back and come back when things are low. Because we're all going to have fear. We're all going to have doubt. Now we can get to business. And these are a few things that I've done in business. And I think one, oftentimes, and this works at any time, pandemic, no pandemic, any time in life. But I think one big thing that sometimes we don't do enough first is care. How are you? How are things in your world? How can I serve you? How can I help you? Shay does that so well. What can I do for you? So care first. Empathy, sincerity, sensitivity. You can smell genuine care. You can smell it a mile away. So care first. Sell second. Please, I hope you're tweeting this out, putting us on Facebook, tagging Shay, tagging me, Ramon Ray, tagging Shay Brown, letting people know that you're here at the Comeback event. Don't forget to share that, by the way, Comeback Champion Summit, that you're here learning these great things from these amazing speakers. So the point is, care first, sell second, have empathy, have sensitivity. And remember, customers need your services. They need your solutions. You have something that can help them. So in fact, as our mutual friend Darnielle says oftentimes, it's selfish to not sell to them. It's selfish to not let them know you have a solution they can get from you. Then, as we're going back to how can we get our businesses in order, and some of you may be thriving and doing great. Some of you may be not doing so great. Some of you may be in the middle. What about your current customers? Stop trying to get new customers today and see how you can get your current customers back in order. Your past customers, how are they doing? What are they doing? Is it time for them to buy again? How can you serve them and help them? Because the customers who are past customers, they already know, like, and trust you, as my friend John Jan says. They already know, like, and trust you. Then, after you've tapped out your current customers, got them to buy again, got them to refer business to you, got them to upsell, now you can go towards those who are new customers. This is how you do business, by care and empathy first. By, as I say in my book, Celebrity CEO, smile before a sale. This is how you do that. Other thing that you can do, think backwards in your business. And I get this from Mike McCallowitz, author of Profit First. Mike talks about going backwards. So let's say you're a restaurant selling food. Normally, you would sell food to people and bring it to their table. Obviously, a lot of that's changed. And a lot of businesses are doing curbside pickup. They're exploding in their delivery. They didn't do it before. But think backwards. I can't do this step, bring food to the table. But I can have people come to me more. And let me do a campaign around that. So all of you should think, what can I do to think backwards? What can I do to think different? What can I do to reverse engineer the process I've been doing? My own business is simple. It's a example, but I fly around the world speaking. I can't do that anymore. But my business of hosting and producing online events, thank God it's exploding. The other point, as you're thinking about how to grow your business, is the aspect of creativity. This is important. When there are rough times, when there are challenging times, it's the power of creativity that will often win. This is important. Power of creativity that will often win. And this is being able to say, okay, this door is closed. How can I go over it, under it, around it, or even break the darn door down or find a new door? So the aspect of creativity, of innovation, the ability to execute, to adapt, to learn, to leverage other people. Damon John talks about in his book, Leverage. This is important. How can you do this? Don't be stuck and say, the escalator's not working. How do I move up the stairs? Think about that for a minute. Just walk up the stairs. The elevator's not working. How are we going to get up to the second floor? Walk. You feel me? The apple I was going to eat fell down. It's now all mushy. That's okay. Make an apple tart from it. This is how businesses survive and thrive. This is how businesses succeed. This is how business owners can make a comeback. I haven't always been successful. I've always been blessed, but I haven't always had a thriving business. I've had my times. SmartHustle.com was not always a resource for small businesses and growing like it is. No. I've had to struggle and get there and learn from others. And I'm sure Shay will tell you his own journey the same. But we have to be creative. We have to tap into things that other people are not doing it. That's how you grow. So, last point I'll leave you with, or not last point, a few more points here, but is this power of an aspect of mindset for business. Some people are in business. I would dare say you shouldn't be in business. It shouldn't happen because you don't have the mindset for it. It may sound rough, but business is tough. Business, you have to love being punched in the face, as Gary Vaynerchuk is often prone to say. You have to love that process and be able to get back up again, right? Donnie McClurkin, get back up again, right? Those who know that song. So the point being, this is the mindset for business. A few key points. One, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Do you enjoy the pain, the discomfort of entrepreneurship? Until you get to a point, of course, where things are going smooth. That's one. Two, you have a network of mentors around you that you can go to for advice and emotional support, who you can support as well. I do. Every Tuesday I have a call with 5 guys. We pray, we support each other, talk about our families, problems we're having. We laugh, we cry, we support each other. Always be willing to learn. Always be willing to learn. Don't think you're the smartest person in the room or the smartest person, period. Always know that somebody else can teach you something. Another thing I found is the power of seeing possibilities in everything. Some people look at a glass like this and say, this glass is half empty. Me, I look at it and I say, no. Well, today it's not half, but you get my point. It got some liquid in it. I can do something with that. Seeing possibilities in everything is powerful. Another thing, take time to think and sit alone and just meditate. Sometimes we talk too much. Take time to read and get insights. You can see my library here, library back there. Read and get insights. Take reasonable risks. Reasonable risks. I'm not saying go crazy, but take some reasonable risks and do that. Sometimes we're too comfortable. I don't think that's good. And this all sums up this aspect of think bigger, think different. This is so important. And there's other things I can talk about, but I won't right now. I want to stay on this inspirational point. Leadership and your finances and your team, sales and marketing technology. These are things so important. I'm sure other speakers are going to cover elements of this. But the point being is I want you to think bigger, think different. If I've helped you today, feel free to check out smarthustle.com. Look at that. Check out, you'll see the book I've written, Celebrity CEO, and so many other resources for you. But man, Shay Brown, thank you, brother. You brought it home. Kudos to my other speakers. I'm so honored to be here at the Comeback Champion Summit. God bless you. Have a great day. And if I can serve you or help you, just look me up, Ramon Ray. But Shay Brown, thank you so much at the Comeback Champions Summit. Take care.